Uh-oh. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Oh my gosh, this is like the best feeling in the world right now. We've been amping this up on Instagram, social medias, Twitters, everybody. We've been blowing y'all up. But we're back now. It's here. It's time. That's a Bet podcast, the first episode of this season. And I go by the name of Lockett. 2 T's. You can't forget the T's. And I am joined by the greatest co-host in podcast land. He goes by the name of Will Judson Jr. What's up, Will? What's going on with you, man?
Ain't too much, man. I just, I feel good. I'm glad to be back, and I'm ready for this football season to start, man.
Man, I know you feeling good. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I just have to get this off my chest.
Oh, man, I knew he was going to say it.
Look, I mean, y'all, I don't know if y'all can see it on his hand. I don't know if he got it on right now. It's late.
I took it off, man. It's a little uncomfortable, man.
I don't blame you. Mine off, too. I still got,
when I get to the house, I take it off, man.
Look, I'm 2 years in, so I still got a little ring right there around it. It's got a tan line, but,
I got you.
I want to congratulate my guy. I was in the building, marrying his beautiful, beautiful wife, Kyrie. The Judsons, man. The Judsons? That's like, what?
Wow. That's weird to say, man.
Man, it's wild, man. Y'all, look, the wedding was beautiful, man. I just want to let everybody know out there. Visually, like aesthetically, I mean, shout out to Kyrie because I know you had nothing to do with that right. At all. The design was amazing. But congratulations to y'all, man. I'm happy for you guys. And I'm happy I was, able to be there in person to see you guys, tie that knot and jump that broom. Literally, shout out to Miss Cassandra Judson. I mean, Miss Cassandra, sorry. Don't kill me, Miss Cassandra. Hope she didn't hear that one. But yeah, man. So I'm happy for you guys. And yeah, look, I know it's going to be a good season for you because newlyweds, look.
Oh, man. Well,
last year.
I'm still in the honeymoon stage.
Look, that honeymoon stage, I hope your honeymoon bets is going to be hitting too because you've been hitting these parlays like Peter. So. Man, I'm hyped, but man, we are very excited to bring you guys another season, of a wonderful podcast. That's a Bet podcast. I'm excited. But just a little tradition here. We're gonna start a little something new, and we need to start every show off and close every show by saying, "See a bet, make a bet." Now that's a bet. That's what we want you guys' mentality to be. That's what we want you. When you think about putting money down, that's kind of how we want to roll, man. And, that's kind of going to be the mantra, man, because that's how we roll, right?
Make money, man. Absolutely. If you see something, you got to put down on it, man, because you don't want to miss that opportunity.
Look, I know one thing. Every time Mr. Will over there hit me with a text, hey, you see this? That's all he say. You see this? And he gave me the line. Like the Astros the other day. You see this line right here? Hey. What I tell you all the time, take it then.
Right.
You know what I mean? You see the bet, you gotta make the bet. That's a bet. So
speaking of the Astros, really quick, man, they were playing the Tigers last night.
Yeah.
It was one of the biggest favorites we've ever seen. You and I talked about this. We said, look, we need to jump on the Tigers. This minus 550 on the Astros. Jump on the Tigers. We didn't do it, and it cost us $450.
Yep. And what do we do?
We both talked about getting on the Tigers.
Look, we saw it. We didn't make it, and it wasn't no bet.
Right.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, man, if you see something that you like, your gut's tingling, you got to roll with it. And that's what you got to do.
One more thing, though. Just to be clear on that.
Okay.
The Detroit Tigers are the worst team in baseball. They are so sorry. That's
Horrible.
the only reason why we didn't get on it. Because, I mean, think about it. It's the Detroit Tigers. They're the worst team in baseball. They're worse than the Orioles. And we didn't think anybody could be worse than the Orioles.
I know, especially with that bullpen the Orioles have. I mean, that's horrible to think about. But, yeah, that was one of the wildest. Plus, Verlander was on the mound, too. I was like, man, there's no way.
Right.
There's no way this is happening. And they beat them like, what was it, 2-1?
Vegas wins again.
Low scoring. I couldn't believe it. So, yeah. So that's just that shows you guys right there. If you don't take what you see, then it's not going to happen. So, and with that being said, man, there's been a lot of new things that we've changed. Most importantly, we've changed some of our social media handles. Just want to let you guys know, make sure you guys follow the show. It's at That's a Bet Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. Also, too, follow me at Lockett, SLOCKETT _TAB, which is That's a Bet, abbreviated. That'll be on Instagram and Twitter. And Will, where can they follow you at, man?
Group 13 Sports. That's GROUP, the number 13 Sports. Group 13 Sports, and that's on Twitter as well.
Okay, cool, got you. So make sure you guys follow us, follow the show. Also, man, too, if you guys are staring at our faces right now, everything is going to go up on YouTube this year. Last year we had a few that we were trying to post. We just couldn't get them on there. You know, it was a lot going on. We're still learning and working out some kinks, but this year everything is going to be up on YouTube. All of our podcasts will be streamed on there, so you guys can play them back and look at them. And we're excited for that. So, shout out to everybody at YouTube land out there checking us out. All of our people. So, but hey, Will, without further ado, man, I want to jump right into the show. We are here, and you are here today, listening because you love the NFL. And if you love the NFL like me and Will do, then you know what time it is in about a week. It's go time. We got to get this money, big money. But one of the things that I wanted to let everybody know is there are a lot of ways to get money in the NFL betting. One way that you can kind of, get a long-term investment, and that's what we're going to talk about on this show, are the futures bets. All the NFL futures bets. I hit up Will the other day and I was like, hey, man, you know what? I want to do a show kind of giving everybody our thoughts just on the big picture. Because sometimes we get lost in just, the week-to-week grind and all that. And there are ways that you can, grind week to week and still make money, at the end of the year, right at that last game of the season. Boom. Somebody has, 9 wins, 10 wins, and they were projected for 8. So me and Will kind of did our research, and, we've been digging for the past week and a half. So, Will, I want to roll out. Starting out, just to give everybody kind of rundown, we're going to run through our top teams, season win totals. So our favorite team season win totals. Then we're going to run through our favorite player prop picks, which is pretty much, any players go to a quarterback to throw over a certain number of yards, a wide receiver to go over a certain number of receiving yards or touchdowns, running backs, just a player prop that Vegas has put out, of a player achieving a goal for that year. Our favorites there. Then we're going to jump into our favorite conference winners and finish up the show. We're going to finish up with our conference champions and our Super Bowl champions, as well as our MVP pick. So without further ado, Will, man, I'm going to jump right into the show. 2019 win totals. Man, it's been some crazy, crazy, crazy win totals out there with teams that have never really been in the conversation. For me, I want to kind of, start this thing off. My favorite win total this year, and I'm taking them over their wins, the Brownies.
Oh, man. Okay.
I like the Browns, man. I love the Browns this year. I'm drinking the juice. I'm sipping the Baker juice, the Odell. I'm ready to dance in the end zone with Odell. I'm ready to be serious on the sidelines with Jarvis. I'm ready to be, just weird as hell with Myles Garrett. Like, dude, right. I still don't get him. But
go draw some pictures.
Yeah, let's go draw some art right after the game and not celebrate with my team, Right. But hey, whatever works, man. Whatever gets you 10 sacks. But their win total was over 9 wins, and that was at -15. And all my props came from mybookie.com. But 9 wins to me seems very obtainable. They had 7 last year. They got Freddie Kitchens at the helm now. He was the OC last year. I just think Baker in year 2 in that system. And for me, defense is the reason why I'm picking them to get over 9 wins. I think they actually get 11 wins. And to kind of tease a little bit, I think 11 wins that division. So we'll wait for that pick later on. But for you, Will, who's kind of your favorite over-under win total this year that you like to take this season?
If I had to pick one out of my favorites, I would say the Falcons.
Ooh.
I mean, now check this out. I got my totals from the Westgate Sportsbook in Vegas, and they had the Falcons at over 8.5 wins.
Okay. I got them the same thing. Yep.
Right, minus 120 or minus 120. I love that. And the reason why I say that, think about this. Keanu Neal, Deion Jones, Ricardo Allen, Devontae Freeman, Grady Jarrett, even their kicker, Matt Bryant. All of these guys are key contributors on the team, and they all missed a significant chunk of playing time last year due to injury. So when you think about all the players that were hurt on the Falcons and think about, how Dan Quinn is on the hot seat this year, I think that when you examine how the Falcons are going to come out this year and play hard at home in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, they're a fast-track team. They like to throw it all over the place. They're playing 13 games in a domed stadium this year.
That's true.
That fits perfect for what the Falcons are trying to do. Throwing the ball to Julio Jones, the kid from Alabama. I can't think of his name right now.
Calvin Ridley.
There we go, Calvin
Ridley.
I was getting ready to call him Riley Ridley, his little brother. But and then you got Mohamed Sanu. Devontae Freeman's back healthy this year, so I love the Falcons and what they're doing. And with Dan Quinn being on the hot seat, bringing back Dirk Cutter, their former offensive coordinator, who does a lot of good things, I think this is the year for the Falcons, and I like them to win the division and go way over that total. So that's probably my favorite one out of the futures that I have.
Okay, now that's your favorite. I was gonna say, go ahead and give me your second best. And then go ahead and run down your list, and then I'll run down mine because the Falcons are on mine too. I like the Falcons a lot, over 8.5.
Okay, so we just kind of knocked two birds out with one stone on that. I'm gonna come back to what you just said.
Okay.
My second favorite, the Cleveland Browns. I love them on the under as far as their win total.
Ooh.
And the reason why, and the win total I caught them at was under 9.5. I think you got the same thing, right? You got over 9. I got under 9.5.
Gotcha.
Now, let me just tell you the reason why I think that. First of all, Freddie Kitchens, I'm not sold on him yet. Yes, he did a good job last year with those guys calling the plays, but think about it, Mike. They didn't have any pressure on them. When Baker Mayfield took over, they were already, kind of out of the playoffs, so they were just trying to see what they had in Baker Mayfield and see what he could do.
Yeah.
Number two, there are a lot of personalities in the locker room, and I don't know if Freddie Kitchen, as a new head coach, if he can manage all those personalities, and when things get tough, keep them in order and keep them focused, right? Number three, this is probably the most important. We got to go off history. It's the Cleveland Browns. The last 20 years.
Yeah.
When have you known them to do anything? So until I put my money on them actually achieving, I'm going to wait and see it first. So that's number three. Number four, think about this. Yes, they went 7-8-1 last year. They had 3 games where they won by less than 3 points, right? No, excuse me. They lost 3 games that were less than 3 points.
Yeah.
They won 3 games that were less than 4 points. So if you think about that, they could have been anywhere from 10-6 to 4-12. You know what I mean?
You're right.
So it could have swung either way, right?
Yeah.
And so just thinking about that, and one other thing, they played 6 playoff teams last year. They went 1-5. So they beat a lot of, not so
little
good
cupcakes.
teams.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're going to see how it is because now they're the hunted instead of the hunter.
Gotcha.
Teams have them on the radar, and Baker Mayfield's done a lot of talking. So I'm going to take the under on the Browns until I see it, right? Now I'm going to go quick through the rest of them really quick.
Yeah.
Seahawks, over 8.5 wins. I love what Russell Wilson is doing. I love how they've reloaded on defense. I love the home field advantage in Seattle. The Rams, I think they might have a little bit of a hangover from the Super Bowl, so I expect the Seahawks to take that division and go over 8.5 wins. The Patriots, at first I wanted to take them under 11.5 wins, but now I'm taking the over. They got Josh Gordon back, N'Keal Harry, Julian Edelman. At first I didn't like their receiving core, but now I actually like it with Josh Gordon included. Sony Michel is back. They got James White, and they drafted Damian Harris out of Alabama. I think the running game is going to be strong. The offensive line, with their offensive line coach Dante Scarnecchia is his name. They brought him back.
Scarnecchia.
Line coach. Yep, great offensive line. And people don't think this about the Patriots, but they've got a top 5 defense.
Yeah, they do.
Second, their back end, their secondary being probably the strength of their team. I like them to go over 11.5 wins. Think about it. They're in the AFC East. I know the Jets are improved. I know the Dolphins are tanking.
Yeah.
Who's the other team in the East? The Bills.
Yep.
I mean, when you look at that, the Bills, they're improved, but they still can't beat the Patriots.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
like the Patriots go over 11.5. The San Francisco 49ers, they're just like the Browns in my opinion. Until I see it, I'm not taking that. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid until I see it. I'm going off history. They had a couple years when Kaepernick and Jim Harbaugh was there, but they're both gone now. So
yeah.
I'm gonna take the 49ers going under 8.5 wins. And one more thing. I don't know how he was able to steal $130 million, but Jimmy Garoppolo, look.
You already know.
One day we're gonna see him on the show on CNBC called American Greed for this heist that he has pulled off in the Bay Area. Look, this is worse than Bonnie and Clyde.
Yo, he's stealing.
Look, I told my dad the other day when I was watching the game, I said, wait a minute, I'm just waiting on there to be like a zipper on the top of his head and he unzip his body and Matt Castle jump out of it. Because that's exactly what he looked like. He looks exactly like Matt Castle since he left the Patriots.
Yep.
Right? So I'm taking the under on the 49ers. And then my last one, the Green Bay Packers. I like them to go over 9.5 wins. I know that's a little tough with Chicago in the division and Minnesota, but I look at this as a bounce back year for Aaron Rodgers to repair his reputation from the hits that it took this offseason. And I think Green Bay's going to have a good year. So
yep.
Those are my win totals. And one more, the Dolphins, under 5.5 wins. I think
they're
tanking. What we call it? Tanking for Tua.
Yeah.
I'll take it another step. Jumping for Justin.
Yeah. For real.
they're trying to tank. They're throwing Ryan Fitzpatrick in there earlier. They're probably going to see what Josh Rosen has for him. But overall, I don't know exactly what Brian Flores is yet as a head coach. But we'll see what they have as far as this season is concerned. But I think the Miami Dolphins are definitely going under 5.5 wins. So those are all my win totals for the year.
Y'all heard that? Y'all better write that down because that's money right there. I'm gonna tell y'all straight up because that.
1 second. I'm looking at the baseball game. The Colorado Rockies and the Cardinals. I took the Cardinals over 3.5.
Did they hit?
Look, as soon as I got done going on my diatribe, I look up and they got 4 runs. So there we go.
There it is.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Hey, you hear that? Hear that money? Hear that money sound right there? That's what happens when you hit on the podcast. That's what I'm talking about. Shoot.
To the business, though,
look, look, that money, that's where it's at. That's what we need all day, every day.
Hey, look, I saw that bet. Look, over 3.5. I had to take that.
That's
bet.
easy. That's stealing. You got to take that. Remember, I asked you before we were doing show prep. I was like, it was 3.5.
Right.
Why they do that? Come on, Vegas. It's always gonna be those little low hanging fruits. You got to be able to find them, and that's what Will does, y'all. He does it all the time. He sends me all kind of stuff all day. So
cash and tickets is what it's all about.
Cash and tickets. I
don't care what sport it is.
Yep, you damn right. So, now where were we? Jumping back into it. Will just gave you guys his season win totals. I gave you guys my top one, the Browns. My second one, and this is kind of literally dependent upon injury news. The Colts under 9.5 wins, minus 100. I don't know about you guys, but Andrew Luck is a walking piece of glass. Just keep it 1,000 with you guys. The news came out about his calf, about his ankle. I mean, he sounds like Kevin Durant in the finals. I mean, is it his calf? Is it his ankle? Is it the Achilles? I mean, what is it? I mean, it's lingering. He's not practicing. He's trying to get back on the field by week 1. And my thing is this. That division is a sleeper division to me. The AFC South with the Texans, with the Titans, both of those teams are, to me, that division is kind of getting like the NFC West, where they beat up on each other, or kind of like what's the division that kind of like the Packers division, the NFC North, where all those games are very contested, tough. They beat you up over the season, and I just don't see, for some reason, I think Andrew Luck I don't think he plays more than 6 games this year, and because of that, I think because the odds started out, the under at first was in the plus, I think it was like plus 130. And then the news came out about his injury. They're minus 100. That line movement, that's something I really studied on this pick, and that's why it's my second favorite season win total. So take the Colts under 9.5 wins on that one, and that surely depend upon Andrew Luck's injury status, and I don't think he's going to be reliable. Now to kind of run through the rest of mine, Another one that I really like, the Bengals, under 6 wins. The status of AJ Green, and you guys can kind of get a trend from me right here. A lot of my win totals are based upon a lot of injury news, a lot of key guys if there's, injuries going on. And then on top of that, there's a new coach in town. He's trying to put in a new system with a quarterback that he didn't draft, Andy Dalton. I can see that kind of being, hey, we lose a couple games, they're going to try to put in Jeff Driscoll or somebody there, that they want in outside of Andy Dalton. I mean, we're paying them all these millions. Let's try to shop him. Sit AJ Green, get him healthy. Joe Mixon, will he get upset when they're losing? He had a history in Oklahoma. My thing is, good running backs on sorry teams never really do good. And that's a fantasy nugget too, guys. Just a heads up. Sorry teams, Saquon Barkley, Giants, just giving you guys some fantasy nuggets while we're talking about, these win totals.
Absolutely.
Sorry teams with really good running backs, beware of the running backs. So the Bengals under 6 wins, and you remember they're in the division with the Browns, they're in the division with the Ravens, they're in the division with the Steelers. It's going to be tough to get 6 wins. They got to play all those teams twice. I could see them going 0-2 against 3 of those teams. So I really like them under 6 wins, minus 130. The Cardinals, under 5.5. Everybody is trying to hype up Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray. Well, I'm not drinking none of that juice. Did you see him against the Raiders? They made the Raiders look like the 85 Bears D.
Hey, straight up, I love Kyler Murray, but I'm a little worried about that offensive line, and I'm worried about the Joker who's calling plays. Have you ever seen in human history, have you ever seen a coach be mediocre in college and get hired in the NFL?
Never, ever. And literally, I literally heard it on Hard Knocks. I don't even know if people noticed this. It was a Raiders defensive coach told one of the defenders, we're not letting up on his ass.
Ooh.
You can hear it in the background.
They're trying to teach him a lesson.
They're trying to teach this guy out of college. You're just not finna walk into this prestigious group and come show us up. Like, did you hear what Antonio Brown said to Kyler Murray? Hey, that's what they're going to do to you. They're going to come after you. I mean, my thing, guys, I'm one of those people, man. I'm like, you'll notice over time, I pick up on the small nuggets and stuff. Like I live on Twitter. I listen to the beat writers. That's how I find out information that helps me with fantasy stuff, that helps me with my betting. I listen to the people, the coaches. I read the coaches' press conferences. You have to follow their words. If they're blitzing like that in preseason they're supposed to have so-called vanilla defenses, what do you think they're going to do to them in the regular season? And they have to play the Rams twice. Aaron Donald. They have to play Seattle twice. He has to go to the link with that defense. The 49ers front is not nothing to play with in the NFC West. So for them to get 6 wins is going to be a climb. Like, I think the Cardinals and Dolphins are going to be 1 and 2 as the shit teams of the NFL. So under 5.5 for the Cardinals for me. Falcons over 8.5. I kind of mentioned that a little bit, with Will's pick. I love the Falcons. We're both high on the Falcons this year. I don't know if that's a great thing or a bad thing that we're both high on them. Makes me a little nervous because that's my team, Will.
I like the Falcons, but 8.5 wins. I think they won 7 last year. That's just a 2-win increase.
Yeah, you're right. With all their people back, so I like that.
Right.
Yeah, for me, where we kind of went opposite, and I've been on the fence about it. Under 11.5 wins for the Patriots for me. I think they get 11. So it's gonna be close. Trust me. I just don't think they get 12. For some weird reason, because their schedule this year is a little bit tougher right now. As look at it. They always make the Super Bowl champion the hardest schedule, but sometimes it don't work out like that because the teams that were good last year are sorry. One nugget, and this one's from my brother, LT. I'm sorry. Also Arnett. I'm sorry if you're listening to this. These Cowgirl fans, but the Cowboys won't win 9 games this year. I love the Cowboys under 8.5. All this drama with Zeke. So reportedly today his deal's about to go through. But Amari Cooper has a heel injury. Dak wants $40 million. What? $40 million? $40 million? Will, I want $100 million.
I will pay him $40 million to kill himself.
What's exactly that? Come on now. Like, I just think there's a lot going on, and a lot of it's happening because of Zeke. I think Jason Garrett is going to be pressing, and Will, They're not going to win 9 games because their freaking offensive coordinator is Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore.
Wasn't he just playing quarterback for them 2 years ago?
He was just playing. He left when Witten left to go to the booth, and they made him the quarterback's coach. Now he's the OC. How desperate is Jason Garrett and Jerry Jones? Kellen Moore? Come on, man. I don't give a damn who. No, the Cowboys will not win 9 games, 8.5 under. Take it -100, and no, I'm not even gonna go in on them right now because it's just episode 1. I'm not gonna do it. I got a million shows left to go in on the Cowboys and why I think they're gonna suck this year. But those are quick. That's a quick rundown of our totals there. You know, at the end of the day, these totals here, I mean, I wouldn't recommend putting a whole lot. Like, Will, what's kind of your, average bet you would put on the win totals?
2 units.
2 units? Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Can you break it down to our listeners what 1 unit equals?
Yeah, so 1 unit is based upon usually we do that off of like $100 scale. For us, some people, like if you can afford $1,000, then that's, $100. But for us, that's like putting $10.
10%.
10%, pretty much. So 2 units is like putting down 20%. So if you're $100, is your max bet. Okay, so we'll put $20 per one of these bets in essence for the season long. Now, if you're $1,000, that's $200, and you go on up and up. If you can put 10 G's, okay, I see you out there, big ballers.
Right.
That's 2,000. So that's 10%.
It's just based off of your bankroll or what you're willing to, support your gambling habit with. So.
Exactly. So
if I had $100, what would 1 unit be?
1 unit would be $10.
There we go.
Yeah. So that's kind of how we break it down. So if you hear Will say 1 unit, I like 1 unit on there. I like 2 units, or the max that you can say for a play would be 10 units off of that scale. So if you hear 2 units, that's pretty much we're going all in. We're putting all of our chips in on that play.
Right. So
for Will, his max for these would be, 2 units, which makes sense. You don't want to go all in. I mean,
my bankroll, that's about 20,000.
Yeah, about 20 G's on him. You know what I mean? Shoot, after having the wedding he had, it probably is about 20 G's. You know what I'm saying, Chink? Chink. Shout out to Kyrie, Chink. But yeah, man. So for me, I like to go a little bit bigger. Like I would probably go 5 units on my top 2 or 3, and then I would scale it back down to probably 1 unit for the rest. Just to, these are kind of just fun, kind of see what happens type of play. So, yeah, so we like those there. But yeah, moving right along, man. I want to remind you guys again to follow us on social media. Follow the podcast at That's a Bet Podcast. That's on Instagram and Twitter. You can follow me at Lockett_TAB. And you can follow Will at Group 13 Sports. That's GROUP, the number 13 Sports. And that's on Instagram and Twitter.